Oh, perfect. For a second I thought this was a scam. No, why would I defraud you? I am a father and married.
So, I've just ridden across London to meet someone to potentially purchase one of my bikes. But that didn't happen. He didn't turn up. I was stood there in the cold for a good 10 minutes, or 20 minutes, and he didn't arrive. But that's not the worst thing that can happen when you're trying to sell something on Facebook Marketplace.
The worst thing that can happen is you could get scammed. Like me. Now I should say straight away, I'm no expert in this types of things. I just want to kind of share a story of mine that happened a few days ago and kind of give you some advice on how to keep yourself safe. There's lots of different ways that these villains can try and collect data and essentially get money from you. And I think the way that it happened to me is probably one of the most common ways that it happens. But I wanted to kind of go into a little bit about what had been going on. So I've been trying to sell a few bikes on the Facebook Marketplace for some time now, and I've had loads and loads of people bite, and it got to the point that I was getting a little desperate, so I was starting to poke a little bit on these kind of like less genuine sounding people, just to kind of make sure they weren't genuine, and just in case they were real people and they might want to buy my stuff. The main angle that these people try and do is they're trying to get money from you, essentially, and there's a few different ways that they do it, but they all end up being the same thing. Essentially what they want to do is send you a link to a website where it's going to ask you for money. Now, that sounds ridiculous. Like, no way are you going to be sat there thinking, well, I'm just going to give this guy some money to buy my bike. But they're quite tricky and they're quite sneaky on how they do these things. And without being too offensive and being brutally honest, they are looking for vulnerable people. The people that are selling stuff online, especially places like Facebook Marketplace, are potentially desperate. They're trying to desperately get rid of something / potentially need the money. When you're in that sort of position, you're a little bit more prone to doing silly things. Maybe you've had this 3-seater settee in your conservatory for the last 6 months now, and you just need it gone. You don't really care how much people buy it off you for, you just need it gone. So when some guy says, oh, he's going to send a courier to you with some cash, but you need to pay the courier first, you might fall for it because you're desperate. You need the thing gone. If it's going to cost you 50 quid to get it gone, then maybe it's worth it, right? Now, to be fair, I feel like me saying what I've said so far covers what I needed to say. Don't put your information on the internet. Don't just send it willy-nilly to people when they ask for it. I'd like to hope most of you already know that. Most people do. But that wouldn't make a very interesting and fun video if I just ended it there, would it? So what I did do was played a little bit of game with one of these scammers, and I gave him my information. So here's a conversation that I had with a scammer, giving him everything he wanted and pulling him as long as I could, simply so I could basically demonstrate exactly what they try and do, so that people can learn from it and hopefully won't get scammed ever again. So without further ado, let's meet the bad guy.
Hello, the article is still available. What is the price? Still available, £500, but open to offers. Okay, considering the distance, then I will make you a payment via GSL Express Delivery. GSL will send a postman to your home with cash in an envelope. As soon as you receive the money, you will then give them the item to the postman and he will send it to my home if that suits. Buy a bike near you then. I explained that the GSL agent would come to your home and give you an envelope with money in it, and when you had checked your money, you would give him the goods so that he could send them to my home. Please explain again. GSL agent will enter my home?
He copy and pastes the same sentence quite a lot, so I'm just gonna say copy and paste when that happens, so I don't have to keep reading the same thing over and over again. It'll get very boring very quickly.
Oh, perfect. For a second I thought this was a scam. No, why would I defraud you? I am a father and married. I will not do that with my life, okay? Okay? Oh, thank goodness. Okay, perfect. To make the sending, give me these details. So I sent him the address to Buckingham Palace and a load of made up details, including a fake email address. He then asked me to mark it as sold, not sure why, and then kept telling me about the GSL and how that's going to work. He also told me to stay connected. He definitely wanted me to stay there. And then my favourite bit was, okay, don't forget to mark the item as coming, please. Which I replied to, the item coming? Got it.
This whole conversation with this guy was particularly sticky at times. Kind of like my new stickers I've just dropped. I have a very limited amount of the Save Old Bikes diner logo. I got a little bit creative one evening, I created this new sticker. If that's your kind of cup of tea, it's available on the website now. But also, I joked about making some cool ass stickers. A bunch of you thought it was amazing, so I did. They're available now. And there's also one that says bikes with a cool S. They're all available on saveoldbikes.com. The link's down in the description. But let's get back to this scumbag.
At this point, I got a little bit bored, so I kind of started throwing in weird things. For example, my grandson says I shouldn't trust you. Is this true? He said, listen sir, and told me the fact that he's been using them for 3 years now, and it's always gone well, that I should trust them, and as he trusts me. As I was clearly getting under his skin, I asked him if he worked there and if he wanted to buy the bike. He said he was really interested in cycling and he's been using the service again for 3 years, so I should be trusting it, and just kept talking about that. I said, okay, you do want the bike. I'll let my grandson call you. He ignored this part. This is the bit where we got to the actual part that was a con. He kept asking me to check my inbox for a email that had information about how I was going to give him money, and he wanted screenshots of that information. I told him that I didn't have a camera, so I couldn't take a picture of the email. Do you want me to print it out and send it with the bike? He then continued and kept asking me to send it to him so that he could help me better with this situation. I asked him if he meant by post. He said a photo if possible. I said I still didn't have a camera. He was getting really annoyed by this and kept asking me if I'd received the email. So I asked him, is this about the bike? Yes, of course it's about the bike. I have already sent you the money to the GSL services, and continued telling me that he needed to help me with the current situation. I told him that I'll check my bank account and I'll be back with him in a moment, but he didn't like that either, and then started to actually explain exactly what he was trying to get out of me.
So that link that he kept emailing me to that address that doesn't exist had a payment receiving source of some sort, where he wanted me to pay £100 to secure the delivery of the £500 cash to me. In that process, he said that he would then give me an extra £100 to cover the cost of that, so it didn't cost me anything. And that there is the scam. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get £100 out of you, where you think they're going to send you £500, which obviously, if you read some of these messages, you ain't going to think that's going to happen, because it is mumbo jumbo and nothing makes sense. But the more you poke these people, the more angry they get. So I continued.
Oh, I see. I'll call my business manager. He handles all my money. I wouldn't want to pay you the wrong amount. So you want £100? Yes? Is that enough? Only £100? Please sir, trust me. And he did go quiet for some time, and I ignored it. But then he came back again. At this stage, he was literally just sending copy and pastes the same thing over and over again. I'd every now and then would chuck something in like this to kind of annoy him, but he just kept copy and pasting. He kept using the word coupons, so I asked him if he fancied one of these. At this point, I think I might have broke him. He just kept repeating, click the link, click the link. I was away for a little bit, so I didn't reply to any of the messages. Then I did. Don't think he liked that. Then I said something that I think he would like, that he was quite surprised by. So he wanted a photo of the code that I purchased.
So I sent him this image from WikiHow of the gift card. He said nothing for some time, and then a couple hours later, liked it. And that was it. Now, this was a little bit of fun, and I did enjoy myself. It did get boring every now and then. Like, that's a very watered down version of the message. This this first message was about 9:30 in the morning. That last message where I sent him the gift card was around midnight that same day. So it went on and on and on and on and on for the entire day. And they wear people down. Like, there were several times that he was really getting on me, and I was like, oh, we need to send him something just to shut him up for a minute. And I realised that, like, it was working, essentially. I wasn't willing to actually give him anything, but, like, he had me for quite a lot of it. So you do need to be careful, but more importantly, your friends and family need to be careful. Like, spread this message, share this video. Like, this isn't very about bikes, this one. So if you know, maybe it's a good example to show people this is the sort of stuff that happens on the internet. Be careful. Bit of a different video this week. Usually this channel is all about bikes, building bikes, maintaining bikes, and doing cool things on bikes. Yeah, that's the end of the video, I guess. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more of what I do, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And if you can't wait until next week's video, that one there is a particularly good one.